Hi guys, welcome back to Canvas Conversations. Today I'm joined by LFA flyweight Brandon Royval, who will be headlining LFA 65 May 3rd in Vail, Colorado. Brandon, thanks for taking the time, my man. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself?
Not too bad, man. What you got going on today?
Just a lot of family stuff. It's Easter, so just hanging out with the family.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you giving me some time on Easter. What do you usually do on Easter?
Just go house to house with my girlfriend. So we usually just like kind of travel around a little bit. It's kind of a little bit more driving than I'd want to, but it's good. We see everybody, so it works out perfectly.
Of course, of course. So this is our first conversation, so I'm curious, how did you get your start in mixed martial arts?
Like how I got into it, like in general, like why I joined MMA.
Well, first how you got started in martial arts, and then, yeah, how you got into MMA.
I was always a big boxing fan. My brother and I would like take time and just box pretty much every day, all through the summer. And what kind of got me in MMA, like I was not into the ground game at all. We just kind of fast forward through it, watched some kickboxing. But what got me through like the jiu-jitsu stuff and got me into it is my brother, when we were boxing one day, choked me out. And I didn't really know too much about tapping or anything, so I just got slept. So after you do that a few times, just stop fast forwarding. Then through the ground game, you start kind of paying a little bit more attention. So I pretty much got like my first stripes by just watching jiu-jitsu and watching MMA all day and just kind of picking it up through that. So that's kind of like my whole big introduction into it. Just my brother and I were just fighting constantly, and like not in an angry way, but just competitively, and got good together. So that always helped out.
Brotherly love, right?
Yeah, it's the best way to spend time right there. We do box it up all summer and watch fights all day.
Does your brother fight?
No, he trained for a little bit, but he was never really into like the whole training portion of it. He's just a big MMA fan. Watches all fights, watches all boxing matches, keeps me updated and all that good stuff.
So are you originally from Colorado?
Yeah, we're from Denver, Colorado.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Where'd you go to high school at?
Chatfield. So down in like Littleton.
Okay, yeah. Did you wrestle at all when you were in high school?
Nah, I did jiu-jitsu in high school. I like refused to wrestle. At the time I was in high school, like all the best were like BJ Penn and like Anderson Silva. So I was like, wrestling's important, but jiu-jitsu is like I thought jiu-jitsu was gonna be like the strong one. Like now that I'm getting older and wrestlers have progressed so much that I beat myself up for that decision where I was like, I should have took a couple seasons of wrestling and skipped a few jiu-jitsu classes, but it all works out. So
Yeah, man. Chatfield's got a pretty good wrestling program too, so.
yeah, definitely.
Well, back to fighting and all that. You took a short notice fight in your last bout against Case Kenny for the LFA vacant flyweight title. What were you able to take away from that fight?
Just just wrestling, always wrestling, and just giving it my all out there, man. I feel like I was a little bit too worried about going 5 rounds, and I didn't just empty the tank in all 5 of the rounds where I was just playing a little bit too conservative and not doing everything I could in every possible second. The worst feeling in MMA is just knowing that you could have done more at the end of the day, and you don't want to leave anything behind in there. You want to go all out, and you want to, more than anything, not just be impressive, but you want to impress yourself. And it was one of those days I didn't really go out there and impress myself or make myself proud too much, where I was happy that I stepped up against a tough opponent and made weight and all that in a week, but like I could have done more to show out and show up.
Of course, of course. So what are you taking into this fight from the previous one?
I don't think it's gonna be too much of a wrestling match, but yeah, stand up wise, I don't really have too hard of a time pulling the trigger. I kind of just go forward the whole time, which makes for an exciting fight. But in the gym, I'm a little more technical, a little bit more precise, and pick my shots a lot better than kind of just putting the pressure on it. So I think I'm just gonna try to go in there a little bit more calm in the fight, but still, he's a technical striker. I don't want to force any mistakes or make any mistakes happen for myself, and just pick him apart and just beat him up from the outside and pick my shots while also trying to be exciting and push the pace on him. So we'll see.
Of course. Case Kenny in his last bout took on the former flyweight title challenger in Ray Borg. Did you have a chance to see that fight?
I just watched the highlights of it. I didn't watch too much of the actual fight. Did you?
Yeah, it's a pretty good bout. It's a interesting
Back
fight.
and forth.
Yeah, a lot of takedowns for Ray Borg and some more control, I think, for Ray Borg. But I think Case Kenny pushed the tempo of the fight the entire time and landed the more powerful shots.
Yeah, I didn't give him like an easy out right there. And yeah, since he walked away with the win, that's a huge deal for him. I don't know if his rankings go up in the flyweight division because it's at 35, and the flyweight division's a little up in the air right now. But for him, looks really good on paper and looks really good for him as a flyweight and a bantamweight. So his future in the UFC should be bright.
I know your bout with Joby's at 125, but like you said, there's some talk about the UFC kind of doing away with the flyweight division. Have you considered going up to 135?
Yeah, it's a big thought of mine right now. Is just like gaining weight, gaining some power. Gaining power is something I wanted to do anyways. Gaining muscle is something I wanted to do anyways. So if I had to not cut as much weight, then so be it, man. That'd be awesome if I could just be a little stronger. I think a big problem at my for flyweight for me is just that I'm not the strongest guy. So I kind of get out there and I get like a little bit out muscled for a couple rounds, and that's never good when you have 3 rounds to work or 5 rounds to work. So for me, I just think building up that muscle and that explosiveness would be really important. So being a 35er, I can gain that and I can keep the speed and all that good stuff. So I'd be happy about that. Like I said, just for me, it's mainly about making a living for MMA. I could be a flyweight. If ONE FC's gonna pay me, I'll go to ONE FC or whatever the next big promotion it is. But as far right now for like an American flyweight, I think going up to 35 would be the best option. I'm pretty tall, so it shouldn't be too hard for me.
And
I just need to go about it properly.
Yeah, and you're young. You have time to fill out more.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll definitely do that shit, especially on a day like today.
Well, you get to bounce back with a cool fight in your home state in Colorado, up in Vail, against Joby Sanchez, who's a former UFC flyweight and bantamweight. How do you feel about this fight upcoming?
I like the matchup. I like the opportunity it comes with and like the hype that it comes with. For me, I've always been able to find like a really tough opponent, and the wins that I have shoot me up right off the bat just because how much hype the opponents I have had behind them. Joby Sanchez is no different. This is a fight I asked for. It's a fight I really wanted, and I didn't expect to be the main event, but now that I'm the main event in my hometown, man, that's really important to me. So I just want to show up, show out, and just impress myself more than anything out there. I know he's a guy I can beat. I know I can beat him in a lot of places that he's strong at. So that's important to me too, is just going out there and beating him on the feet. And then if he takes me down or he shoots in on me, I think it'd be an easy night for me, honestly. So we'll see what happens, but I'm planning on pushing the pace on him. Gotcha. It should be a striking war too, so that'll be exciting for the fans.
Yeah, definitely. Main event, exciting fight. Can't beat that hometown. Can't beat it.
Yeah, so all that said, I always tell myself like, oh, I gotta be calm this fight. I gotta not like be so eager to go forward, but all that, they're gonna be like the main event of the evening, and next thing you know, I'm rushing across the cage and doing exactly what I don't want to do, which always makes for an exciting fight. So might as well do it, huh?
Right, exactly. You got to, man. You got to do it up. So
yeah.
since Joby's got a few fights in the UFC, do you feel this is a good measuring stick for you?
Yeah, definitely, man. Joby has some UFC experience. He's a tough name, and he's obviously earned the hype behind him, and the talent that he has speaks for itself. He has wins in the UFC. So that being said, man, it's just a quick way to skyrocket my name, especially after a loss, and get a full camp for this one. And just I've watched a couple of my teammates, or one of my teammates, fight him, and just learned a lot from him and just took a lot away from that fight. And I got to help him prepare for that fight too. So like I said, just getting ready for him wasn't as hard as maybe it would be for most people. So I'm excited about that matchup, honestly, and I'm excited for the hype that comes with it.
Did Mark give you any extra insight before you take on Joby?
Yeah, I got some insight from Mark, and I got some insight, like I said, you were talking about Mark De La Rosa, right?
Yeah, right. That's who you're alluding to as your teammate.
Yeah,
okay.
So a good portion of the time, I was actually his main sparring buddy, or like when we drill together and worked. So honestly, I took a lot away from what he did, and I got to watch him unveil his plan just completely unfold and just work completely in the cage, and everything he did and everything he worked on, he just followed it to a T, man. He did a great job out there. So like I said, I've never been too great at following game plans. As soon as that bell rings, I kind of just hit go mode, but stay focused, man, and just pick up the little things that he did. It should be easy night, or it should be a good night for me.
Have you envisioned how you see this one ending?
I see a million different things, man. I don't know if you've seen, I fought like the same exact fight last year in Vail, and it ended up with like the kid broke his arm in the fight, and it was like a big disaster. So
yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Just as long as it doesn't end like that, I don't really care. It's one exciting fight. I want to obviously win and look impressive and try to gain some traction off of it no matter what. So, but as far as the ending, man, I always see a million different things. And before the fight, I'm going to think of a million other different ways to do it, just so I'm prepared when the situation does happen. But hopefully I can just go in there and put it on his ass, you know?
With a big win over Joby, what do you think's next for you?
I think it's just put me in the top of the flyweight division. So wherever the flyweight division goes, man, I think I'll be leading the pack. And if not, man, I'm going to upper weight class. So it should give me some pretty big pull to get a big name at 35 and just keep going on from there. Like I said, 35, I've always been pretty big. I'm huge for a flyweight, but 35, I was pretty tall too, and I don't give up too much height there either. So whatever happens next, man, or if I come off this win, whatever happens is going to be really great for me. So I think I have a lot of pull off of this win. So I'm excited for it, man. Excited to make it happen. I'm excited for it to come up.
Big things going on at Factory X. You guys got a couple of your teammates are also on the card in Vail. Where do you guys attribute that success from in the MMA community, all this recent success you guys have had?
Man, I just think talent attracts talent, man. That hype, and then just like seeing your teammates do good, man, is like, it's an amazing feeling watching your teammate go out there, perform, or like someone like Mark, where I did practice with him and we worked on some stuff, and like we're working on what like he needed to do, go in there, and he goes out there and pulls the trigger and does exactly what he needs to do, and you watch his hard work like go in full effect, and him get his like I think it was his second win in the UFC, man. It was just it's awesome to see that, man. Not only does it motivate you, but it, like you can see a little bit yourself, and they're like, oh well, like he's doing that, man. I get to work with this guy every day. We brush shoulders every day together, and like I'm taking away from him, he's taking away from me, or like vice versa. I watch Ian, me and Ian, we're on a lot of just like the local cards together, and watching him just rise, man, is just so motivating to me. Watching him do good is just like, wow, like I don't know, it just gives you that push, and it just like, it makes you believe that much more in your dream, and just motivates you all. So that room all day, every day is just charged. And Mark, of course, leading the pack, does not let us lose focus at all, and just very much on top of his game, has a great speech before, after every class, man, comes prepared and just very passionate about the sport. And that's always nice to see, is just a coach that is continuously growing. So just everywhere he doesn't, one, as a team, man, we're just succeeding, and that just motivates each other, and the room just gets motivated off that, and it's electric off that. But like having a coach that's not losing focus, and he's not done learning, so we're always just practicing new things. It's just a very humbling room, man, always. And it's just a great time all the time too. So we're just like a group of great friends just fucking out there living the dream, man. So I don't know.
Iron sharpens iron. I've seen the room. It looks like you guys have an awesome camaraderie.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just a bunch of brothers in there, and sisters too. That being said, we have a lot of girls in there now too. So it's just a great time, man. Like I look forward to just going to practice, and look forward to go see my teammates and my friends, you know, like that's what it is every day. And it's like a blessing that like, did you grow up playing sports?
Yeah. I grew up wrestling and all that.
So sometimes, man, I always like think to myself where it's like, I don't even know if I love martial arts. I just love being a part of a team, you know, like I love just going in there every day, hanging out with my friends, shooting the shit, talking shit, like fucking pushing each other, subbing someone, and then talking shit to them, and then subbing me, and they're like, oh, I got you with that. And then the next day you got to one up them, you know? So it's just constant motivation, constant push. And then on top of that, you're just chilling with a great group of guys, man, and girls, and just having a great time the whole entire time, man. There's nothing better than that. And like I said, being a part of teams is super important to me. So I'm glad that I can still be a part of a team with such success. And then just like, you're in there, and like when I first started MMA, I was with Chris Camozzi, and when he got put in the UFC, it was just like, I don't know, it was just like, well, I get to hang out with this guy, I get to see this guy every day, and he's in the UFC. But like now there's everybody in the UFC. Like all my friends are in the UFC, man. All my friends are on TV. So it's just, I don't know, it's just great to be in that kind of room, in that environment, man, honestly.
It's become normal for you guys, right?
Yeah, definitely, man. There was a moment where like Nate Marquardt was in our gym, and I was like sitting next to him, like, holy shit, I'm sitting next to Nate Marquardt. But like now I see a bunch of big names all day, every day, and it's like, what's up, man? Like, how you doing? Mark Corner, I don't know, you watch Broncos or anything, but
Of course.
Mark Corner's holds pads for two of the best Bronco players, and I get to see them every week. I get to see Von Miller and Derek Wolfe every goddamn week, and it's just like, I don't know. Like I said, Bronco
Wait.
fan.
Time out. We
Coming on
got
Thursdays. Coming on Thursdays.
we got Von Miller hitting pads.
Yeah, man.
Oh
We
my
got Von
gosh,
Miller
I
hitting
gotta
pads,
see this, bro.
Derek Wolfe hitting pads, these big ass monsters in the cage. Every time I'm watching him pads, I'm like, how is this cage not fucking caving in right now? Like, this is ridiculous. And like, so much power and just so much raw talent with those guys too, man. And like, I don't know what the fuck they're preparing for, honestly. Like, I kind of wonder that. I'm like, are these guys gonna join the MMA league, or like, is this what they're planning on doing, or are they just planning on beating the shit out of some Raiders next season? You know, if it comes down to it.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, right. Either way, I don't give a shit. But it's just cool to even be in a room with someone like that. And then, so their session's right before mine. So Mark holds for them, and then holds for me right afterwards. So it's like I get to sit in the same goddamn cage as Von Miller, Derek Wolfe, and like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just excited to go to practice every day. I'm excited to be in that environment. And like, there's nothing better. Like, you don't have to, like, when your job's something you love, man, you don't have to, like, I don't know. You don't have to drag your ass in the morning when you're working and like all that stuff, man. When I go hit miss and Derek Wolfe and Von Miller are hitting right before me, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna show up a little earlier to practice and watch this happen. You know, I'm not gonna show up right at 4:30 or 4:25. I'm gonna get there super early and watch it go down and make sure I'm ready mentally and all that stuff too. Like I said, man, just a super that room's just super electric right now, and it's just great to be a part of it or a member of it, you know.
Of course. So are you a big sports fan yourself?
No, not really, honestly.
Okay.
I just watch MMA and boxing. I'm a Bronco fan always. I'm an Avs fan always, but I don't keep up with them as much as I'd like. MMA, man, this life's draining, man. I can't keep up with anything. Between the fights, after practice, I'm just dead, so I don't keep up with too much. I'm not too big on Netflix or anything, honestly.
Well, we got the Nuggets and the Avalanche in the playoffs right now. Have you been checking them out at all?
I've been watching the Avs. I haven't watched any of the Nuggets. Basketball bores me, honestly, but
like checking the scores at all, even?
Yeah. I work at a juvenile hall, man,
okay.
And those kids love basketball. So like, I'm a little bit more into it now, and watching them ball too is super awesome. So
that's
it's
cool.
different. I'm trying to get in there.
How do you fit that into your work schedule, into your training schedule? What's that like?
I will not work anytime it would affect my, like, I won't like let it affect my MMA schedule. Like, I'll literally call off, or I won't go in. Like, I don't.
You're cool with that?
Training comes first for me, man. And then even like when I was in high school, I'm an athlete student, you know, or like whatever it is. So, I have 3 days off now: Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday. But Monday and Tuesday, I hit it all day, man. I have morning practices. All of our morning practices are on Monday and Tuesday. So. My strength and conditioning are on Monday and Tuesday. Today I hit like a ridiculous amount. I hit like a 17-mile run today, which is ridiculous. I didn't mean to do that, but like I said, man, just kind of lost track. I saw like a place I wanted to be and just took off running. So like I said, it works perfectly. I get off right where I need to get off, and if I didn't and they're trying to hold me, I would definitely just dip, because practice comes first, man. Like I said, I like the job. I love my job, but I have a bigger and better job that I want to do. So.
Sounds like you're living the dream, my man.
Yeah, straight up. I like it. I have a cool life, cool girlfriend, all that shit. So it's not a bad day.
Oh, man. Cool. Well, before I let you go, brother, if there's anybody you want to thank or shout out, feel free.
Yeah, I want to. Oh, sorry, I interrupt you. I actually want to give a big shout out to my my strength and conditioning coach, man. He, on Mondays, it's just me, him, and I. Normally he trains with the team, but he makes it work with my work schedule, man. I really appreciate that. So, Eric Talley, man, thank you very much. My strength and conditioning coach. We have the best. Lauren Landau's is just such a great place to train. And then as far as like sponsors go, I want to thank Hypnotic and Turp House. They've always stuck by me. If you're in Colorado, you need a tow, Ace Towing. If you need your auto body repaired, go to Jules Auto Body Shop. So yeah, they do a lot for me, man. I appreciate it all.
Guys, tune in Friday night, May 3rd. It'll be live on AXS TV, or if you're in Colorado, head up to Vail. It'll be Brandon Royval taking on Joby Sanchez at LFA 65. Brandon, thanks again, sir.
Yeah.